Shabbat Shalom, Shalom to the hopefully elect. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to hopefully elect once again, right? So, really what I want to get into today, right? Brother Yasil, keepers of sheep, right? He was, a little while ago, he mentioned about getting back to the basics, right? It's that, it's still some people of some newcomers of Israel, right, who are still searching for the 100% truth, right? And the elder apostles and the other elders of GMS, they were also going into the basics. So I figured, I should do the same, right? You wouldn't be in the same spirit, right? So right here, what we're attacking, right, is the doctrine of the, because some Christians still believe that, it was a literal serpent, it was a literal fruit, apple, if you will, whatever, right? Some think these are literal things, right? It's but you have to learn that these things are they're spoken in ways that only certain people can understand, right? It's simple. Like let me see. Let's grab this right quick. Let's see where I think it'll be in the Apocrypha. Salakia, bear with me right quick. This is the book of Shirach, chapter 39 and verse 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so they are stumbling blocks unto the wicked, man. So some of these things are stumbling blocks, right? Now, I don't know if all Christians believe that, that there was a literal fruit, right? But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the elder apostles have taught, the correct breakdown, right? That these things aren't these things aren't literal, right? The serpent wasn't a literal snake, right? The fruit isn't a literal fruit, right? The trees aren't literal trees, right? And there's deeper breakdowns of this, right? And I may even link one into the description going all the way through Genesis chapter 3, or you can do it yourself, right? Type in GMS Genesis 3, right? Simple as that, right? But right now I just want to deal with the simple part of the fruit and the trees, and I think I have a scripture pulled up to even touch on the serpent, right? So Lord, when this video be edifying, I'll stop rambling. It should be short, quick, straight to the point. So we'll begin. This is Genesis 3 and 1. It says, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai had made. And he said unto the woman, Yeah, hath the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die." Right? So there's two things here, right? It says the serpent, right? But we know who is this serpent. This serpent isn't a literal serpent. This is a man. But this serpent is a man, right? Who and more specifically, this serpent has the spirit of a certain type of people here today, right? Which would be who? Esau, Edom, right? This is that evil spirit, right? To go deeper into that, right? Like I said, we can bring this up. This is Revelations 12 and verse 9, right? It says, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world." Right? And who who deceived the whole world? Who was it Job 9:24? Salaki if I'm wrong, but he covered the faces of the judges thereof, right? So who did that? That's Esau Edom, man. He made all the judges. He made everybody, right? He made Yahweh Shah look white. He made Yahweh look white. He made Paul look white. He made Peter, John, all King David, all of them, right? Samuel, Adam and Eve, he made them all look like him, right? He deceived the whole world, man. He has the worst doctrines of this time, right? It's all false, right? To continue on, it says he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, right? Now, this is where some Christians get that doctrine of Satan was this beautiful angel, right? And he was kicked out of heaven, and he had his legion or his army of angels that went down to hell with him, which is false, but that's not the point of this video, right? There's other videos to go into that, right? But the point here is I want to get this definition of the devil, right? And this is
Strong's G 1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
Diabolos, right? Now let's see. It says prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, a calumniator. Salaki, I'm not really very familiar with that word, right? But it says false accuser, slanderer. But this is really the definition that we wanted to get, right? It says a metaphor applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of the Most High, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him, man. So that's you right how it said that serpent. It said that old serpent, the devil called the devil, right? Well, what do we call Esau Edom, man? They little devils running around here, man. They wicked. They are the wicked. So lucky, but they are the wicked, man. So that's that serpent, right? Now, again, there's multiple things to attack in these few scriptures, right? So the next thing we want to go to is how it talks about the trees, right? So now that we understand that the serpent was a man, right? Now you have to go into the trees. So the trees are also what? Men. These are other nations. These are people with other philosophies and doctrines and false knowledge, right? That's what this is, right? And to prove that it's commonly because how does the scripture say it needs to be read? Precept must be upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little, right? So you have to piece it all together. You gotta study, show yourself approved. You gotta know the scriptures. You gotta know what's going on, right, throughout the whole scriptures to get the point that needs to be made, right? So what trees are we talking about? There's multiple accounts, right? And we're gonna get one in Mark on where people were compared to trees, right? And we're going to start. We'll just start at verse 22. This is Mark 8:22. It says, and he cometh to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto him, and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand, and led him down, and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes, and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking, right? So that's really the point. That's another account of people being, people being called trees, right? This is another example, right? Right. So again, like I said, I want this to be quick, so we're just gonna hit these points quick, right? And if you want the whole breakdown, search up the other apostles of GMS Genesis 3 breakdown, man. So the next part, right, is it's talking about now that you understand the trees, right? It's not just talking about literal trees, it's talking about men with fruits. It's obviously what it's talking about their fruits, right? Their philosophies, their doctrines, the things that they do, the way they live, right? So before I explain that, let's read it back from the top, right? It says Genesis 3:1. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, right? Esau, Edom, with that spirit per se, right? This wasn't the so-called white man that you see today, Esau, Edom. This is the same. This would be that same spirit, right? Remember, there's nothing new under the sun, right? Pursuant to Ecclesiastes, right? So, starting from the top once again, Genesis 3:1, it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, hath the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Most High have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Right? So right here, she's saying, the Most High said, you can eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. You can eat, you can do the things that I have, permitted y'all to do. You can, um, you know, you can mingle amongst your nation, the Adamites, right? Now, if you confused about that, Adam and Eve were not the first two people on earth. That's just obviously I've been is what we've been saying. That's why, right? If you go back in Genesis, I think it's Genesis 1 or 2. I think it's Genesis 2, where it says he created he them, right? The powers, right, which will be the angels and Yahushua, right? They created multiple people, created he them, right? Which is again, that's a deeper breakdown. But the apostles in GMS have got it covered. I mean, I can do it too. Why not? Maybe I'll do a video on that after this one. We'll see. But again, these are trees, right? These are different nations. So of our nation, of your nation, you can deal, right? You can deal with their philosophies. You can deal with the wisdom and knowledge of your nation. You can eat of that type of fruit, right? But of the trees, the other trees, you cannot, right? So to talk about the fruit, right? I'm gonna grab this scripture and I'm gonna bring this together with the fruit, right? This is Matthew 7 and 15, right? It says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are raven wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Right? So these are the things, these are examples of fruit, right? Fruit being what? Their acts, the way they do, the way they carry themselves, their services, you know, their doctrines, their way of life. These are their fruits. This is how you're gonna know different people. So this relates to Genesis 3. These fruits, right? These are you can't eat of every fruit. You know what I'm saying? You can only eat of that is permitted. You can only do that which is permitted. And in our case, you can only do what is permitted under what? The law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Right? These are the things that we have to live by. Now we know we are in this flesh, right? We are in this sinful flesh, so we we do fall, right? But you gotta do it to the best of your ability. As a disclaimer for those who say, y'all only want to focus on the law, yada yada yada, right? Those are the type of people who don't want to do anything right for the Lord. They just want to live their life as they want to live it, and then and call it that. Right. But again, when you when it talks about eating the fruit, right? When it talks about eating the fruit in these verses, right? Eating is what? This is gaining the knowledge, right? When you're eating the fruit, you're gaining the knowledge of these ways, these philosophies, right? That's what eating can mean in this sense, right? You're you know you're ingesting knowledge and wisdom, right? So one way to relate that, this is Ezekiel 3:1, right? And this is talking about eating that roll, which is what? Wisdom, man. The knowledge of the Most High, right? It says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, it's like Ezekiel 3:1. Moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go and speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. Right? So what is he doing when he said he's eating this roll? What is he's gaining this knowledge? He's digesting this knowledge. He's gaining wisdom, right? So that's honestly, we touched on 4 different points of these few verses. So hopefully, if you go through and read the rest of this, right, you may gain a little bit better understanding. But I suggest you go watch the apostles, right, the elder apostles and the elders of GMS's breakdown of this, right. But as you can see, we'll run through it quickly. The serpent is these are men. This is a man, right. The trees are other nations, other people, other men, right. The fruit is what? Their philosophies, their doctrines, right? And to eat it means to learn about it, to pretty much, like I said, to learn about it, right? You're digesting these other doctrines, these other philosophies. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I don't think that was too far-fetched, but if it was, you can let me know in the comments, and Lord willing, I'll improve. But I'll end this by giving all praises once again to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Give double honors once again to the apostles and others of Great Millstone. Shalom once again to Hopefully Lit. Shabbat Shalom at that.